Okay, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Mr. Dan. Today is supposed to be a day of rest. Can anybody guess what day that is? Sunday. Okay, we got it. Okay, so anyways, today we're going to make a nice dish that I've always liked, uh, shrimp and lobster sauce. But today there's a special thing to go with this one. But we're going to serve it over brown rice. It doesn't take long. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, in this here pot, that's my brown rice. Got 7 seconds to go. Okay, here I have it's a non-stick skillet. It's kind of like a wok shape, but you don't need that. You can use a regular pan if you like. Just make sure it's deep enough to hold the liquid. That's why I'm using that. Once it gets up to temperature, I'm going to add some avocado oil. This here is a combination of vegetable stock or vegetable broth and shrimp shells mixed in they're not in it now, but I cooked them. I've made a broth, so I get them a little more flavor. Here I have 2 eggs. I'm only going to use the whites of those. Excuse me. Here I have some Chowching cooking wine, Chinese cooking wine, rice wine. I have, and over here I have the sesame oil. Sorry. Cool. This here I have a teaspoon of soy sauce, half a teaspoon of garlic, and then ginger, and then salt and white pepper. Here I have my shrimps all marinated up. I'll tell you what I put in those once we start cooking them. This is my kick today. I ordered this from Amazon. Couldn't find it nowhere, but it's better than bouillon, and it's made from lobster, so it's a lobster base. And I'm hoping that gives it a little bit of lobster flavor, because there is no lobster in this shrimp and lobster sauce. It looks like a lobster sauce, but it's no lobster in there. So I'm trying to give it a little more flavor. Okay, we're going to add the avocado oil. I'm just trying to put something in there that's got a decent smoke point. We're going to put about a teaspoon. See, it's kind of ready. See how it's shimmering on there? Okay, so what we're going to do, let me get my spatula, and we're going to start adding our shrimps here. Get a sizzle so we know we're ready, huh? Now, these will cook pretty quick. But I marinated them. The reason they're white, I put some cornstarch on them. I got a little bit of olive oil in there, sesame oil. I drizzled some in there. I got salt, white pepper, and egg white. That's it. That's the marinade for the shrimp. I use that marinade for just about everything when I want a nice little coating on it. See. And we're just going to keep our eyes on it. We don't want to get it burnt, but like maybe a nice golden color. And yes, this is a lot of shrimp, but I like a lot of shrimp. This is about a little more than a pound of shrimp, actually. Well, that's when it had the shells on. I don't know now, but yeah. Because I took the shells and how I did my stock, I had made some homemade vegetable stock from my trimmings of all the vegetables that I do. I have to make more now, so I'll start saving up more trimmings from when I trim up like my onions, my carrots, my celery, anything that's not edible. Well, not that it's not edible, but it's too small or whatever, I throw it in a Ziploc bag in the freezer. When I get enough pieces of it, I take it and I put it in a boiling pot of water, cook it down, put some spices in there, render it till all those, we get all the nice little nutrients and stuff we can out of the vegetables, because we don't want to waste them, see? Then you got yourself a nice vegetable stock, so instead of using regular water today to cook my shrimp shells in, say that 3 times fast, I used the veggie stock, and it came out really good. It has a nice shrimp flavor to the liquid, so that's going to add to the dish, huh? But I'm going to be making a lot of shrimp here in the days to come because Penny and I went to Publix and they had BOGOs on the shrimp bags. And they were jumbo shrimp, by the way. These are extra, extra large on this one. But so I got a couple bags of shrimp because I want to make other things with shrimp. Just to show you guys, I'm very well versed on seafood too. So, all right, so letting that cook down. We'll be back. Okay, we're back. The shrimp's doing fine. I'm getting ready to dump it out. I just wanted to give a shout out to Penny's sister, Twyla, because she likes the shrimps. Shame you're not here, girlfriend. I'm missing on a good shrimp dish. All right, so I'm going to load these into the bucket. I'll be right back. Okay, I added a little bit more oil, as we can see. So now we're going to start with our ginger, as it were, garlic, as it were, we're going to stir that around so we get a nice little fragrant hit on the nose. We don't want to burn nothing, right? Then I'm going to add in some of the peas and carrots. Get those going. These are still frozen, by the way. It's about half the bag that I'm putting in there. Maybe a few more. This is a mix I was looking for. That thing, if it had a hammer, it'd knock me in the head. I was looking right at him. Penny found them in the store for me. That was good. All right. So now we're going to add a little bit of white pepper here. I think I do that just to mess with Penny because she's always worried about the black pepper having crunchies in them. You know what I mean? Now she can't see no pepper. All right. Mix this around a little bit. A little soy. A little Shaoxing cooking wine, rice wine is what it is. I'm going to put some of that in there. About a teaspoon, a tablespoon, not teaspoon. I put enough in there. And we're going to throw in some, these are some green onions I got the other day. I cut them up, put them in the freezer. So now we're putting them in here just a little bit for now. And we'll take some later on for some top for the garnish. And that'll be that. Now, if you guys don't want to mess with your shrimp, you can buy these already cooked, pre-cooked shrimp. You can get any size you want, any amount you want. But, you don't have to cook like I did just now. You can hold them back to, like, the very end of the dish, But, yep. I just like making my own shrimp. I just, I use the fresh shrimp all the time, but, yeah, I like cooking my own stuff a lot of times. It's fun, and I make the stock out of it. I make it, you buy the shrimp, then you take the shells off, take the vein out, pop the heads off if they got heads. These didn't have heads; they just had the shell body. But heck, yeah, you just make your broth, stick that in the freezer. Break it down into container-sized bags, or you can put it in Ziploc bags, lay them flat, put them on a cutting board or something, and just lay them in the freezer until they're frozen. Then you can stand them up on their side. And if you wanted to get anal about it, you can measure each one. Put a quart maybe or a couple cups in a bag, and yeah, put them on a cutting board, freeze them in the freezer, and then stand them up on their end. I got a million of them. I'm only kidding. All right, so now there's really not too much left for me to pour in here, so we're going to take a little break to these things bubble up a little bit. Okie dokie, we let that render down enough. Now we're going to put us in some my vegetable broth with some shrimp shells stock in here. I'm going to let some of this render down too, by the way. We're not going to, this is just about 3 cups of liquid I put in there. We're going to let it just simmer away a little bit. And once that comes back up to a Earl, we will be right back. Okay, as you can see, I got it going out a nice boil. So I'm going to use this lobster sauce base. Probably just going to use maybe a teaspoon, maybe a little more, I don't know. Nice and rich, man, I'll tell you. Looks good. I'm just trying to make it so it has a nice added flavor of lobster. I mean, since there's no lobster in there, this is like a, when you see it, I'll show it to you when we get to that point. But this here, I figured, like this, I can, once I found this lobster base, I was like, oh man, I'm going to get that. And it was a little costly, but finally got it off Amazon. We looked it up. We went to the store. We looked it up in the store. They had all kinds of bullion, or better than bullion, whatever they call it, but no lobster. Let me get a little taste test here. I'll burn my mouth. Well, that definitely added flavor to it. Oh, heck yeah. No, I'm not going to. I'll just put a little bit more in there because, just a tad. That really did add a nice flavor to it. Yeah, Penny tasted the broth before I put it in the pot. She said, oh, it definitely needs salt. I said, yeah, but I don't want to put nothing in there yet till I add this stuff. This definitely worked for me. Okay. So that being said, we're on the downhill slope now, guys. All right. Let me go mix up my slurry and we'll be right back. Okay, I got me a even mix of, put 2 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch together. Now we're gonna drizzle that in here a little bit. And we wait till it comes back up to a boil, stirring gently, don't go crazy, because it'll start to thicken up the sauce. And once it comes back up to a boil, we'll add some more. I'm going to try to show you how this is going to work out. See, right now it's kind of really watery. And you can use this cornstarch slurry no matter what you're making. If you're making gravy, whatever. But until you dump this in the pot, keep stirring it, because all the cornstarch will separate from the water and settle at the bottom. And that's like trying to get cement out of there. Now, if this doesn't come to the consistency I want, then I'm going to add a little bit more. Not quite there yet, so. just come bring it up to a boil and see what it comes out like. Okay, as you see, it's a little bit thicker, so now we're going to put in we're going to drizzle our egg whites. You see here I got them. Just beat them till they get a little foamy. And then we're just going to drizzle them in. And that was 2 of them, by the way. And then we're just going to gently pull like this. Not go crazy, no heavy stirring. Because what you're trying to do is you get those egg whites to like settle a little bit. That one looks like a giraffe. I don't like it. But you know, you get this, and this is where I think they get the lobster sauce from. If you look at it, it's white. Gives you that consistency like there's some kind of lobster maybe in there. But you know, people also make this with like ground up pork, ground beef, and that supposedly because that gives it texture like there's lobster in there. I don't know. This was a way for them to sell it. It was a gimmick when they first come up with this recipe. So, but anyway, here you have it. Now we're going to put in my. Be careful with this. Your shrimp. And get all them little num-nums out of the bowl. Don't leave nothing laying behind. No man left behind. And that's basically it, guys and girls. And you'll see this. It'll have like a white gravy. Well, like mine has a little darker over gravy, and the reason for that is partly because I used vegetable broth, and I also did my my own skins. If you do this without doing all that, it'll be white, but it's going to taste great. Okay, there you have it. And oh yes, I almost forgot to have I got about a half a teaspoon of the sesame oil. That goes in there, and like I said, you can garnish it with some green scallions. But anyway, we'll be back in a moment. Okay, boys and girls, there you have it. Okay, I'm going to try this one-handed just so you can see all the shrimps in here. There's a bunch of shrimp. All right, we're done. See how nice and thick that sauce got? Yeah, baby. All right. Okay, at the taste test table, little Domino likes the smell. Elmo definitely likes the dish. So let's, without further ado, let's get in here and try some of this here delicious nonsense, huh? Holy crap. Whoa. That lobster base definitely gave it a little more flavor of a lobster. You don't need that, but I just wanted to try it. And look at my little shrimps. A little buddy. I'm having this on brown rice. Perfect consistency, and the shrimp is like hot all the way down. It's really hot. Oh. There you have, my friends, another wonderful dish. You know, Dr. Fauci now, he's trying to get us to, because the COVID cases are starting to go on the rise again. So he's trying to get the old Trumpmeister to make it mandatory across the United States, every state, put a mask on. We'll see what happens with that, but good point. When you're out and about, make sure you cover up, protect yourself as well as others. Wash your hands, and when you get in the car, if you're out and about, spray that sanitizer on there, the gel, the spray, wash them up, head on home. When you get home, wash them again. And don't talk with your mouth full, like Elmo always says, unless it's a nice dish like this, huh? And a shout out to Derek. I'm sorry you missed cleaning the shrimp this time. But, yep, turned out good. Tell your mama, Twyla, this is a good dish. She'd like it. Give me up a like on this one because it's really good. Share with your friends, family, and others. Subscribe if you haven't yet. When you do, the little notification bell will pop up. You hit that. That'll let you know every time I have a new video. As usual, the description for this dish and everything will be down in the description box below with all the right ingredients, the amounts. So until further ado, until next time, my friends, stay hungry, and we'll see you when you are, and we'll give you another great dish like this. This is Mr. Dan. We out.